Hello and welcome back to Malta. We are continuing our Jurassic Experience episode 4 of the Malta series. In the previous episode, episode 3, we've completed the central hub of the park with this beautiful oasis and a rather large eatery area for guests to enjoy a nice meal and drink their iced coffee. Today we are going to be working on the aviary. Now I'm using this rusted aviary design here. This actually came with the Malta expansion, I'm pretty sure. But I do think it goes pretty well with the aesthetic here, so I'm using it. Now we are going to be keeping it simple. With the aviary, keeping it simple with the aviaries. So this episode's not going to be the longest. I added the monorail. I guess I forgot to film it. I can't say I know why, but that does happen from time to time. So we do have a monorail. This is the terminal station of the monorail on one side. So it will not continue. We're not doing a loop for this monorail. I know it might be a little bit counterproductive, but I think it works better in that case. Here I have this water body here. I don't show you me doing it because I end up wanting to change it anyways. And I did say in a different episode that if I do something and I don't like it, I won't show you making it because I'm just going to rip it up anyways. But again, like I've said in other episodes, I want each area to have this feeling of an oasis, a safe area for your senses. Usually around the monorail. So after a long day of seeing dinosaurs, you can enjoy and relax. So there we have that done. Just going to get rid of this guy. And then we expand the water out to the edges to make it a nice shape. Perfect. Now we sand the outsides to make it feel more like a holiday, a beach location. When you see this perfect white sand, you're going to think about the perfect holiday. So that's what we're incorporating here. And for our monorail area here, we are going to incorporate that in. These are the viewing galleries, and I had this idea of what to do for this. I want to transform it into a sort of star shape, not a star necessarily like a sun star shape. Give it that feeling. I know it's a bit different from what we usually do, but I do want to try to incorporate it. And if you don't like it, well, that's not a bad thing, because here we have, I decorated it. I forgot to film myself putting down the planters, but I guess you didn't miss too much, because that's a lot of planters. If nothing is ever really perfect, it's really hard to make the perfect park, but I do think that unique things help to bridge the gap between perfection and bad park. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to see what works. Again, as I've said in previous episodes, I have no plan on what I'm going to do before I do it. I mean, even before I do an episode, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I might have some inkling, like with Jurassic World, I had a feeling about, oh, I'm going to make it so that this is where the carnivores are going to be, and this is where the long-necked dinosaurs are going to be. But for the most part, I really don't have much of a plan. And Malta is an example of that. I had no plan. But I do think it turns out well. This is something, though, I don't like, is all the benches I put in. I put way too many benches in here. I need to get rid of them. I think that's what I'm going to do that before the park tour. Is I'm going to change the benches for something, because I must have put in about 100 of them. It's way too many benches, and they don't even look that good. Why would people sit here, right? But it's just a lapse of judgment. But I think you'll like what we do with it. So just ignore this part. The benches are... I don't like them. I'm going to rip them out. Off camera, of course. But the aviary is a good opportunity to expand our vision of having colorful dinosaurs. These flying reptiles should be very vibrant to attract their mates. So I'm going to try and incorporate as many great colored variations as I can, but we're going with bright colors, which will be bright green, bright blue, bright red, pink, purple, yellow. These are all great colors. Okay, that's a lot of benches. And yes, this is something to keep. These are the golden amber plant pots or planters here. It sort of helps to, I think, emphasize that these are the rays of light from the sun. So they're going to have that gold reflection, that shining gold reflection when the sun actually hits them. They're going to make it look very bright. Now here I decided to add one more branch, one more ray of light to my sun, which is from the path entering the area here. So you will see that in a moment. I think it really makes it look perfect, having that extra ray of light makes it look more like a proper sun or star. So you'll see that when we zoom out how good it looks. So there it is. I think it looks a lot better. Now we'll just decorate. I do want to emphasize a separation between the terrestrial dinosaur area and the flying reptiles here, the aviary. So by using some of these trees, I hope to block the vision a little bit so that it creates a sort of division, a divider between these areas. Now, there isn't a viewing gallery there. I'll connect that up later in a different episode. But that looks pretty good. Now we'll do some interior work on these aviaries. They're not huge aviaries, but I'd say they're a good size. Gonna give them plenty of water and rocks to perch on. Just like I did in the Jurassic Peak park build series, I wanted each aviary to be slightly different in terms of foliage and design. So I will try to incorporate that idea into even this park. And it is very good to be using this open aviary design. I don't like the glass ones from Jurassic World. I thought that was something that I didn't really like. So you just want the air moving, because these guys probably stink. They probably poop everywhere, and it just stinks up the place. So we want to keep that air moving. Now in front of the viewing gallery, we want to keep the foliage kind of low. We don't want it to be too tall, although it's not a big problem on this map. I know you can, what am I doing? Oh, am I doing that? Yeah, I'm getting the perches. You can't forget about that. The perch is in the decoration point. I think that the perch should be in the environment point, just like with rocks, you know, like the lagoon perch is in the environment rock section, so the aviary perches should also be somewhere like that. Here we have the feeders. Now currently I have eating turned off for all dinosaurs, but I'll probably turn it on for the park tour. Here we're in the next aviary, and we are doing more rocks. This one has 2 viewing points, one from the back, one from the front. Here I'm just considering what to do. I think we'll use this, the cycad grove. These trees look great. We'll keep them away from the viewing gallery though. We don't want them to be blocking the view. But they do help to add some depth to the area. Okay, now we're on to the next aviary. This is the last one, and we are going to do something different for this one. We're going to change the elevation in here. Now, I don't want to affect the path that's going right along the edge of this aviary here. There is an emergency path. I guess I do change it a little bit, but do I? Or is the path on the other side? Or do I even have a path yet? No, I don't have a path. I guess I should put a path in there. But at least it makes it easier. So we're going to have that sort of background hill there, and we're going to have water in the foreground here. That'll help to, I don't know, give it some depth, give it some illusion. Okay, so by adding that rock texture, it does help to show some elevation difference and, well, make it seem more natural. Now in this particular enclosure, we are going to, I think we're going to do the seed plants. I know that I didn't put these in the other aviary. I will do that in a moment, including perches as well. I know I forgot to do that. So here we're going to our seed plants. Well, the color's not terrible, but I just think they're a little bit bright. And I can't say I really love them on this map. But they do the job for a little bit of variety. Okay, are we gonna put in those feeders? Yep. Here we go. So a feeder on both sides, so both viewing galleries can get a good view, and get those perches in. Perfect. Okay, I think it's almost time for dinosaurs. So here we have our first one. I thought he was going to start talking. Well, the Tapejara is a very nice one. I did try to give it some more vibrant colors. I know it'll just affect the crest. Here we have another, the Geosternbergia. This one as well, the crest is very vibrant with this one. I did more like friendly fish-eating, no-teeth dinos or flying reptiles in this enclosure, and then I do my toothed reptiles in the other enclosure. I do like to keep them separated. This is pretty cool. He lands on the rock. So, depending on how you have the rock positioned, he can actually land on it. That's really cool detail. Here we have the Thanatodraken, or Thanatosdraken. This guy's pretty big. He's one of the bigger flying reptiles. I did not add the other big one, because he's too big. I think it's animal cruelty to have them in such a small environment. Here's the pterodon, I believe it is.
The more I've studied these animals, the more I've noticed that there's a fine line between fascination and fear. Prehistoric flying reptiles like the archetypal pteranodon have captivated my imagination since I was young. Yet there's something about these creatures that makes me feel somewhat cagey, shall we say?
It's lovely. I love the color of the horn or the crest it has. But the color variation is quite limited. So now we're in our toothed reptile enclosure. I'm keeping these guys away from the other toothed reptiles with the Marodactylus. I've given him and the next dinosaur a nice bluish green color. The Pterodactylus, I love the wing color. It's like desert camouflage. That's really cool. But it really goes well with the bluish green skin color. He almost looks like a vampire of some sort. But that's really cool. That's going to conclude our episode, though, today. It's a little bit shorter, but I am trying to make the episodes a more reasonable amount of length. So this was the aviary, and in the next episode, we are going to be working on the lagoon. So look forward to seeing that, and I hope you have a good day.